Hi, I'm Ray. Welcome to Wine Tap Tips. We're back with Executive Chef Lou Rook from Gunn's, the author of Rook Cooks, a book that I super highly recommend that you check it out. But now we're going to show you how to grill a steak. Now that we've shown you how to prep a steak. So Chef Lou, can you show us? And I do have a couple questions first, though. Now, a lot of people say they barbecue. What is the difference between grill and barbecue?
Oh boy, that's an interesting question.
Because I do have the ability to do both on this.
Well, barbecue is a distinctive method or a type of cooking. Okay, We're grilling today. We're grilling steak. We're not barbecuing steak. We're cooking on the barbecue pit, if you want to call it that. So I think that's probably just where the difference is. To me, would be barbecuing is we're going to smoke and we're going to create barbecue.
Indirect heat, lower temperature.
Absolutely.
And then we're using direct heat, high temperature.
Super high temp, yeah.
Because a lot of people say, I'm going to barbecue some steaks. Yeah. I'm like, no, you're kind of.
Yeah, and really it's just, they're just thinking we're out barbecuing. We're on the grill barbecuing. But, so what we're going to do, what we do at Annie's is we grill on we do what we call grilling, not high temperature, 1200 degrees, big broiling. So today we built a charcoal fire, which why is still charcoal taste better? They're right. It's amazing, okay? Unfortunately, the fire, that's right around 750, 800 degrees. And we're going to do some grilling and just enjoy these things. So the whole key is, once again, we went through how we season. So we want to hear that, number one. You can hear that sear taking place. Kind of putting them on at an angle because everybody wants to have those cool marks, right? And you also have to understand how to do this with your glass of wine in your hand at the whole time. The whole time you're doing it.
It's very important.
It is one heck of a... it takes training.
You're practice. That's how you get to Carnegie Hall.
So, obviously, I'm not going to put our little venison steaks on because they're very thin, and they're just going to take... These are going to take, roughly to get to a mid-rare, this size. If you look at it, they're about a half an inch thick, something like that, or maybe 3/4 of an inch, maybe an inch. They're going to take about 20 minutes. So obviously we have our filet mignon. Here's our ribeye, and here's our strip. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, just to gain some heat back so it recaptures, I'm going to shut the lid and let it build that heat back up. So we've had the lid closed to recapture our heat. You can hear that we've got incredible sear going on. So you see I have them at an angle.
Yes.
So what we're going to do, one, I'm going to show you the good caramelization we're getting.
Oh.
That is what you want. That is what you want. You do not want char. You want caramelization of the natural sugars in the meat. So we're going to take it now and we're going to do a quarter turn. That's going to give us that cool little crisscross thing. Right?
So you don't flip it, you just...
So the other thing I want you to notice here is with our fire, look at how that fat is... Let me move this. See how that fat's sizzling?
Yes.
It's not burning though. We're at a perfect temp. So let's do this. Look at that guy. So if you notice, this up here is a little cooler, so we got great caramelization here, but not. So I'm going to move this. I'm going to turn it a quarter turn, put it there. Take our ribeye. Look at that gorgeous thing. So let me talk about char. Charring a piece of steak. If you love it, do it. Charring, though, takes it from being what it is. Now you've got a flavor profile that's changing the composition of the meat. Okay? Where these are light brown, beautiful, you're starting to see a little bit of, when I'm talking char, it's these dark edges. That tastes like burnt charcoal. And you know what? That's horrible. That's all I'm going to say. So now, instead of doing a cross marks, because we got such great caramelization, I just decided we'd flip them. And you know what? When you're a chef, you can do that. So, now we flipped them. We're going to let this filet, and if you notice too, the filet didn't caramelize as much. Well, because why?
It was further from the heat.
And
it's a bit thicker.
And
it's less fat.
Less fat.
Oh.
You got it, Ray.
Wow.
So now, these are but that's the difference in a fillet. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
It's a beautiful piece of meat, but that's what it is. And then you can see the differences of how they cook up. You know,
No,
that, it would make it crisscross.
Oh.
So, I mean, it's really simple. But grilling is a science. So the thing you have to remember about grilling, one is season your meat. Two is you have to oil it because it's a dry method of cookery. This is all dry. You have to season your grill. When you talk about seasoning a grill, it's not putting salt and pepper on it. It's cleaning it. And then brushing oil or being careful if you want to try to use Pam or something because it's an aerosol, but you can do it. But really, my recommendation is, so look at the difference on that fillet now.
Oh.
We got a little more heat. See how we got it all caramelized around the edges? So the other thing that I believe in steak cookery that you're going to see here in a minute is not just caramelizing the top and bottom, but caramelizing the top, the sides. Same one in Fillet Mignon. One of the biggest things we have issues with is I caramelize everything because I want that thing to encapsulate the flavor. Well, a lot of people like this to be super rare. And then me being me, I say, well, we're going to make it. Once again, trying to extract the most flavor out of these pieces of meat. Okay?
Now, with venison, you do want that rare. You once told me you want to do game rare.
Yeah. You know, venison is something, I'm not a big rare guy because I think rare tends to, I used to eat rare meat like crazy. But really, you're not maximizing the flavor, and a lot of times, it just eats so chewy, okay? So, but with venison, it's so lean. You know, you want to just make sure that you're not overcooked because it'll just be dry.
Dry and leathery.
Dry and leathery. So, you know, so what we're going to do is as soon as I move these over, I'm going to put it on a hot searing spot. And seriously, I want to drive something home here. If you have time for charcoal, do it.
Lump charcoal,
not briquettes. Do it because the flavor you get off that is that. So we caramelize that edge. Now we're going to do that side. Our fillet is doing fantastico. And we're just going to, I'm actually going to take this ribeye and move it off to the side because it's pretty much done. Nice. It's kind of a thinner piece, so we got to be real careful there not to overcook it. But you know what? God creates the cow, so we can't have everything be perfect where we get these like this. So that's why that's a little skinnier. All right, so let's put this here. Our fillet is doing wonderful. I'm going to put these guys on right in the center of that. These ones are wonderful. Okay.
Nice other pieces, thanks.
Look at this.
Oh.
Isn't that beautiful? So we got caramelization everywhere. We got a little knuckle here, but not too bad. So I'm just going to set it off to the side too while we let these guys catch up. You see I took the fillet and I'm going to sear it. I'm going to give it about 1 minute on 3 edges on the fillet mignon.
I've noticed now the venison's beginning to plump up a little bit.
You see that? Look at it. It's starting to have the juices are starting to rise to the top. See, we're getting great marks there. So the key, what everybody needs to understand, the marks don't mean anything.
It's just visual.
It's like drive for show, putt for dough. Okay?
Yeah.
It's exactly what it's like. Really all you care about is having this caramelization because that is the flavor. That's the flavor. Beautiful. All right, so we've been on there. Flip it there.
Here's a question for you. If they want to order your book and learn a lot, can they order it online at Annie Gunn's or through your your Facebook page or how?
Right now, the only way to get the book is to come to Annie Gunn's or the Smokehouse Market. 16806 Chesterfield Airport Road.
In Chesterfield, Missouri.
Chesterfield Valley.
And I'm sure they could order it online at Annie Gunn's, couldn't they?
Annie Gunn's in the Smokehouse Market, online. Or they can call and I'll ship it to them. I mean, we've done all kinds of, I can personalize it. So, our filet They're doing fabulous. Those are done. Our venison steaks. We got some good caramelization on those. And what's fun is we got a great fire because we're getting browning, and this is like bone dry meat. There's no fat at all. Very, very little fat. Really,
that's actually venison veal.
I love it. So what we're doing now, I'm going to pull these off.
You don't want to know how old it is.
That's fine. I'm going to pull these off. And what's cool is anytime that you're grilling anything, you want to give it a time. You want to give it time to rest, what we call resting. And the reason is the same thing we talked about earlier with the aging. So when we put that meat on the grill, it does this. And kind of like it revives the muscle structure. So to let it sit for 6, 8, 10 minutes, it'll still be warm. You know, we put our butter on here. We could cover it lightly with some saran wrap, and then we can let it just sit. That takes it back down to fork ready, fork and knife ready, because it lets that muscle relax.
It goes so the muscle's like this. The high heat contracts it like this. And letting it rest makes it like this, and allows the juices to come out again.
Yep. So, the other thing to remember about grilling is you have to clean your grill. So that the next guy that comes behind you has a good work surface. All right. Voila. Let's eat. So anyway, we've let our meat rest for what, about 7-8 minutes?
Yeah.
So now we're just gonna, this is our ribeye. I'm just gonna carve it, see how it's beautiful.
Oh, nice and pink, juicy.
Cupboards.
Oh. I'm already celeb.
I hear you. So this is our strip.
Oh. How can anybody even be a vegetarian when they see your food this good?
Careful.
I don't mean to be offensive, but I just can't understand it. I mean,
So I got this beautiful strip line. Lay that out. Go to Fillet Mignon. There you go.
oh. Don't tell Mama Mimi I'm eating like this. Oh, wait a minute. She's filming.
I know. You're already doomed.
I'm doomed.
So here's the cool part. Now we can take this. We'll do our Vinny Cocoa Puffs. But here, take these juices that ran off.
Okay.
And just
Pour that on.
it's got all that beautiful butter in it. Go out on the fillet because it's has much marble. Take our venison. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Lost the color, but I think
I've had more fun eating venison and sampling wine with you than anybody else.
So again, this gorgeous venison steak out here. This is
So let's show them the color on that one. That's the idea.
nice and thick, gorgeous. Maybe like for the hunters, maybe you have them cut these a little thicker. Just with the salt, pepper. That didn't even have a cure on it.
No. So with venison steaks, when they take it to the processor, maybe ask for like a
Just
3/4 of an inch,
Yeah.
1 inch thick, not that thin.
Not thin because unless you had like a really, I mean, if we would have had a really, really hot fire, we might have been able to do a little better. But honestly, it came out really gorgeous.
Okay. Hi, we're back, and now for the best part of all, we get to eat this. Chef Lou, do you want to walk us through it?
Yeah, so what we have here is our ribeye is here. Our strip loin is here. This is our filet mignon. And this is our venison.
Yum, yum.
And the coolest part about being the chef and the chef's assistant is we get to taste them before you do. And I think we've dabbled a little bit, and I think it's pretty darn good.
I'm loving it. I hope I don't get sued for copyright infringement. I'm really loving it.
So the cool part is, Ray said to me, what do you want to start with? You want to start with Venison Robles Cabernet, or you want to start with Adam Puch de Norton? And we had just tasted the venison, and I thought, let's start with Norton. So I'm going to let Ray talk about Norton a little bit, and I'll interject, and we'll go from there.
So Norton, for those who say that there's no good Missouri wines, I say shame on you. You haven't sampled enough wines.
True.
Missouri has over 130 wineries out there, and there's just as many wonderful, great wines as there are wines that you're not going to like. But that goes with every wine region in the world. And Norton is absolutely delicious. And we're going to do the Adam Puch de Norton, which is a wonderful, wonderful example of Missouri Norton. You have a great relationship with Timmy Puch, oldest family winery in the United States. And the thing I love about Norton, for those of you who enjoy the outdoors, wild game or lamb, Norton is a great pairing, and I've seen it on more than one occasion hold its own against the biggest, fattest reds from Sonoma Napa at dinners. And if you're gonna eat local, drink local, and since the venison we're having is from Missouri, we thought a nice Missouri Norton would be the whole local mentality to it.
And so when we're talking Missouri wines, so we, like Ray was saying, eat local, drink local. It took me a while to get involved, but once I got involved, the coolest part about Missouri wines, and not just Norton, but Norton is our native grape. It is the grape of Missouri. And so what I love about Missouri Norton or Chambourcin or a lot of other wines is they're food wines. We can do so much with them. We could have put barbecue sauce on all this beautiful meat, and you know what? This is a perfect barbecue wine. Lamb, barbecue, hamburgers, lamb burgers, anything lamb, venison. So once again, my friends at Puchta and all the other great producers in Missouri, anybody who says there's no good wine in Missouri, they're out of their minds.
I definitely agree.
Cheers.
To those hidden treasures in the backyard.
I know that's going to get edited.
You never know.
So let's try a piece of venison.
Let's try some venison with this.
There you go, brother. And remember, all we did to this was we put salt, pepper, and garlic on it.
Something real simple.
And we melted a little butter, and we poured the butter and the juices over it. It's so good. Oh man.
You see, this at deer camp is just incredible. And if all the wives knew how well we eat at deer camp, they'd want to go.
Great stuff going on in the steak.
Let's walk through a couple of these others.
Well, why don't I give you a little piece of the ribeye?
And I'll try that with some Venison Robles Cab.
And I'll give you a piece of the strip.
Oh, the pink, the char. Oh, that looks so
Now
good.
let's do a little chunk of the filet. Just take a bite of each one of those. And you should, if you go filet, strip, and ribeye, you should have definite flavor profile differences.
This, I don't even need a steak knife. I could just cut it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean,
There you go.
my fork. So you guys, this is what happens when you cook a steak properly. I cut it with a fork. And then I'm having a little, what I call seduction in a glass. A Cabernet that's just buttery and creamy. This one, even with a fork.
Oh, you cut the strip with the fork?
Mm-hmm.
I love that. God, the strip is so good. See, I love a strip. But the number one seller right now, besides the fillets are number one, but the ribeye is everybody's choice right now.
Really?
So you can see it's got a little more. So that piece was from the shoulder end. So it's probably got a little more activity. So it's a little bit, you know, it holds together a little more. We could have maybe cooked that 1 or 2 more minutes, but they're eating incredible.
Yeah. I mean, this one's almost just pork done.
Yeah.
But it's soft. You actually get that flavor from the meat. The spices are subtle. They just kind of round it off. Like a good wine, it rounds it off. It doesn't overwhelm it. You're not tasting all spices. And I've had some steaks that all you taste is salt and pepper, and you wait an hour later, you're like, where can I get a gallon of water because it was too salty?
Right. Fantastic.
Chef, I can't tell you how much I really appreciate you doing this. And if you have the opportunity, whether you live in St. Louis or you ever visit St. Louis, you need to go to Annie Gunn's and meet Chef Lou Rook. And in the meantime, check out Rook Cooks. It's a book that every time I try one of the recipes, I am so happy I tried it because I'm excited that it's just an incredible thing. And whether it's just a simple egg dish, salmon dish, or wild game dish, you just kill it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Ray. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Chef Lou, let me pour you a little Cabernet. I'm Ray with Chef Lou Rook, and here's to living the wild wine life.
Cheers.
Cheers, and please share our video with your friends.